If you're anything like me, you would have experienced some problems by now in life. And when I say problems, I just mean some sort of friction that's trying to stagnate you, hinder you, delay you, just anything negative when you're trying to do something new. Career-wise, I've had stagnation. Relationship-wise, ministry-wise. Almost every new thing that I attempt to do, whether mentally or physically, meets some sort of stagnation. And knowing this, I came across a scripture. The scripture is Ecclesiastes 10 verse 8. It says, "He who digs a pit will fall into it. And whoever breaks through a wall will be bitten by a serpent." Another version says, "When you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake." Now, when you read the Bible, you know that sometimes it's literal, sometimes it's not actually literal, sometimes it's a blueprint for something. So this is a principle that I can see as a blueprint. This scripture isn't an if or a but type of scripture. It's just straight and plain. If you break a wall, you will be bitten by a snake. So it doesn't matter if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. If you break a wall, you will be bitten by a snake. So it made me ponder, what can represent a wall? Strongholds came to mind. A stronghold. Now, a physical stronghold can be a fortified city, a fortified refuge, just a place that is fortified. It's hard to break into, or it's hard to escape on the other hand. Now, a spiritual stronghold or mental stronghold is simply a belief system or a cause which is strongly upheld or strongly defended. So a lot of people, day by day, have either demonic strongholds or strongholds according to God's will. For example, there are people out there that believe within themselves that if I get rich, if I get wealthy, I'm evil. Like, getting money is an evil and a bad thing. I shouldn't get money. Christians, unbelievers, just people in general have this type of mental belief. And it comes from a scripture, a partial scripture, where it says the love of money is the root of all evil. But people view it partially and say money is the root of all evil. So because of only knowing the partial scripture, a stronghold has been built in their mind that, hey, I shouldn't pass this wall of getting money. I should stay behind this wall because it's safe and I'm a good person. A stronghold that I tussled with my mother a little bit about was university. In secondary school, I was telling her, I don't think uni's for me, just being real. And she wasn't having it at the time. She wasn't having it at all. So because of this belief system, because she's coming from Africa, that the educational school system is the way, anything outside of that is a lie. Be a doctor, be an engineer, be an aero engineer, be a scientist, go to uni. Outside of that, no. So when I said I don't want to go to uni, it was challenging this stronghold, this belief system. Eventually, I got out of it because I didn't go to uni. But for a long time, I was being bitten. I was being bitten by her words. That no, it's not the right decision. No, it's not the right thing to do. And as she was saying these words, it kept on drawing me back into that place of safety where, okay, maybe I have to go to uni. And I started accepting it because just like this scripture, whenever I tried to go past the wall, whenever I tried to break down the wall, I was being bitten. I was being told to return back to where it's safe. That's the significance of that scripture that I read out. That whenever you break a wall, a snake will bite you. So there's mental strongholds that we break past. We go past, we attempt to turn over. There's always some sort of voice, object, person, environment, something that bites you and is causing you to retreat back to where it's safe. Go back behind the wall. Go back to where you're familiar with. Go back to where you're used to. Now, as I came across this scripture, it made me think, okay, what's biblical examples? And instantly I thought about Joshua. Joshua was a warrior. He was appointed ruler over Israel for a period of time. God had told Joshua, go and conquer the city Jericho. He gave Joshua a set of instructions of how to conquer and what to do after he's conquered. For 6 days, walk around the city once. And on the 7th day, walk around the city several times and get your priests to blow trumpets and shout after them, and the walls of Jericho will fall. Then destroy everything in the city. Leave no one alive, leave no animal alive. Destroy everything. And every gold and silver object, bring it into the treasury in the house of the Lord. So that was his instructions. So he followed these instructions, and truly the walls of Jericho fell. So just remember that the walls was broken down and he destroyed everything. Now, someone within his army did something snaky. They kept a piece of the silver or gold, some piece of treasury, to themselves. So the time came that Joshua now had another battle for his army. And even though God promised victory, they lost the battle. Even though God promised victory. Now the reason for this was because someone kept a piece of treasure from the previous conquest. And this disobedience caused failure to the new battle that they went to. So when Joshua now found out that this is the reason, because someone kept a piece of treasure from the last conquest, he went house by house, tribe by tribe, family by family, to find out who it is that has done this thing. Eventually he found the person admitted, and he cut off that person. He cut down the snake and that family. Now you see, because of that one person's action, one selfish person decided to keep treasure for themselves, even though that was not the instruction. Joshua was bitten. The army of Israel was bitten. They had to suffer defeat, loss. Men had to die because of this one selfish decision. Now, Jericho is always a blueprint for modern day activity. Jericho is a city, a new place that you've been told to conquer, or you feel inspired to conquer. Do you feel inspired to conquer a business, a ministry, a career, a family, something new? You've broken down the walls, but there's someone amongst you that's a snake, and they've said something which has caused you to return back into failure. They've done something that has caused you to return back into failure. Another person, Joseph. Joseph, when he was a young lad, a little boy, he had a dream. Now, as he said this dream to his parents and his family, it's a bit baffling. Like, Joseph, what do you mean? Are you meaning to say that us, your family, are gonna bow down to you? Because that's what the dream represented, his family. So there was some friction because of that dream. The friction was taken so far that his brothers decided to betray him. Well, set him up. They decided to trick him to come outside. They then put him in a pit and they plotted to kill him. But fortunately, they changed their mind a bit and said, okay, we'll just sell him instead. Some Midianites came and bought Joseph, and he ended up in Egypt. Now you will see, the point I'm making is that Joseph received an inspiration. There was a stronghold, a belief system he was used to. But all of a sudden, he started seeing life in a different lens. That, hold on, somehow I'm going to be put in charge of my family. Somehow. This was a wall that was broken down, and because it was broken down, a snake came to bite him, which was his brothers that betrayed him. So looking at these two biblical examples, just look at your life. I looked at my own life and I recognized a lot of new things I tried to establish in my life. A lot of walls I had broken down. I was always challenged by a snake afterwards. So this is to bring awareness. Whenever you are doing something new, look, there's a difference between an open door, like an open door where you can walk through and do your thing, like it's been granted to you. That's different. I'm talking about a stronghold, a set of mental belief systems, something that hasn't been done before. Look, it's a blessing to be rich and wealthy, but you say you want to be the first millionaire in your family. Don't think you're not going to be bitten. And the snake doesn't necessarily represent betrayal. The snake is just something slithering, something you won't see coming. Like snake, they slither, they're silent, they get underneath the gaps and they bite you when you're not expecting it. It's not necessarily betrayal, but it's just some sort of attack that you're not expecting. You're expecting people to support your decision. Oh, you want to do, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, go explore the world. Go be a missionary. That's what you're expecting to happen. You're not expecting them to say, what are you talking about? calm your excited self down. Just calm down. You're not expecting them to bite you, to shut you down. But you see, that bite, what it's doing is returning you back behind the walls where the safety is. Going back to that scripture, when a wall is broken, whoever breaks a wall will be bitten by a snake. So that wall is the safe place. You're safe behind this wall. But when you break it, and you're trying to move forward, something's gonna bite you to tell you, hey, return back. Get back to what you're used to. So this is just a message, bringing awareness that if you're being bitten, persecuted, attacked, you're on the right path. Satan will not leave you alone if you're doing what you have to do. Satan will not leave you alone if you're walking in your purpose, if you're exploring your calling, if you're walking in the vision God has given you. Satan, why should he leave you alone? Tell me why he should leave you alone. Tell me why. But Satan will leave alone those who are in the barrier, those who are in the safe place, where they think it's safe to be comfortable, where they think it's safe to not take any risks, not do anything for their family. That's who he's leaving alone. If you spend 8 hours scrolling on social media rather than working on your business, working on your career, your ministry, your dominion on the earth, he will leave you alone. You're in that stronghold, you're behind the wall. Yeah, you're good. He doesn't need to deal with you. But if you dare say, let me put this phone down, focus, let me think about something new I can create, bam, that's when the snake is there. You've just broken down a wall and the snake is waiting. So be persistent, be diligent, keep going, keep pushing forward. And even if the snake bites you, just cut it off and keep on going. Do not retreat to where you are familiar with. Step out into the unknown. Don't go back into the comfort. And trust God, because this journey is always about faith.